All right, guys, I thought it was a good Friday. The preparation's continuing to be good, in and out of the meetings, onto the field. Um, I feel like these guys are excited to get ready to demonstrate the hard work that they've went through for the past 6 weeks. So we're all excited. I know our fans are excited. Hopefully the stadium is ready to roll early, and we'll be there waiting. So, any questions?
Odell said yesterday he's not quite 100%. Any concerns whatsoever about him?
Nah, Odell's ready to go.
Do you feel your personal excitement level rising as we get closer to this and you get closer to this?
Again, my personal excitement level is pretty normal, like every other year, from the standpoint of I'm excited to see those guys perform. That's, everything we've done from April on has been with direct correlation to getting to this moment. All right. Now, the process of getting there has been different as far as just focusing on each day to get better and better each day. But this is what we've been preparing for, and I'm excited to see those guys go out and perform.
With all these alumni in town and a big special day happening tomorrow, do you have anything special planned that you could possibly share with us in terms of who might address the team or anything like that?
Not at this moment, no, ma'am. We, we do find it's very special for us to include those guys. They laid the foundation. I feel like Cleveland's unique from the standpoint of the alumni still. Once you're a Brown, it's a little different being here in Cleveland than it has been in other places that I've been. So it's special to those guys I know that have come before these guys. And I think it's all relative to what they did, where we're trying to go. They've been there and done it for the most part, some of the guys that are coming in. So, I know it's very special to me that this is the weekend these guys are coming in.
Address the election of your captains?
Yeah, it was just a team vote, and we picked 3 permanent captains to begin with, and we're going to rotate the other 3 and take another vote at the end of the year.
I mean, obviously Baker's it's not a surprise to us or anything, but is it nice for that natural progression to happen?
Yeah, I think so. I think, the position itself lends, that's kind of a prerequisite for that position. Now, whenever you start talking about what actually happens, sometimes it's not always the case, but it's good to see the quantity of votes. That was very telling for me, what these guys think of their peers. They, to me, that's special to be named a captain, because that tells you what your peers think of you. And all 3 of these guys that were named permanent captain, and we had a lot of guys that got a lot of votes. All right, so I don't want to belabor the point here, but when you have a lot of guys that get a lot of votes, that means a lot of guys are affecting other people, and that's a good thing.
Weekly captains, is that the decision you make week by week?
We haven't got that far yet, and I'd probably just keep that to myself for no other reason, just that, there's a lot of factors that are going to go into play.
We spent so much time talking about your physical camp and how you've tried to establish that. The way the Titans play, do you see that in them? And I know you would have done that anyway, but is this kind of a good test to see how your training camp kind of plays out once we get to the season?
Well, from the standpoint of how we play is not going to be dictated by who we play. How we play is going to be the norm, the standard that we set, and it's not going to be dictated by anybody else. I understand your question, but to answer your question, just simply put, no, it doesn't matter who we played first. That's the way we prepared, and that's the way we feel like you have to play the game of football. I think our guys buy into that fact, and they're looking forward to it.
We talked before about some of the position battles, but are you ready to say right guard and corner?
we put a depth chart out. Yeah, we put the depth chart out. So I'll just leave it at that.
So there were some issues, with penalties in games throughout the preseason, but do you feel like some of that was because you had a whole nother 40 people on the roster that, might not have been as disciplined as this group that you have, and is that a big thing for you to keep sort of disciplined and penalty-free this game?
Well, listen, over the past, however long, we did a study that over the past 10 years, the first game of the regular season is the game that's the most penalized on a year-in, year-out basis across the league. So that tells me that guys aren't either playing with technique or don't really have a feel on what they'll call and what they don't call. I think our officials do a great job, and we have to make sure we do our part by playing with good technique. You are more susceptible the first game of the year. It's proven, it's in the numbers that you're more susceptible to getting more penalties. Both teams, it's not one team or another. So we've recognized that and we've addressed it, and hopefully that helps.
We're not obviously out there when you guys are doing any of the team stuff. Could you see a rotation at corner where we see both Terrence and Greedy play?
Yeah, I mean, they'll both be on the 46-man, like at the game.
Anticipate, and I know you're saying that Odell's ready to go, and he sounded ready to go yesterday, but given some of the things that he also said about the hip, do you think you might have to have him on a little bit of a pitch count, or is he just 100% ready to go?
No, he's going. So I could have gotten very, very smart alecky with that comment, but I just kept it at that. I thought of a couple of things I could have said after you answered.
Mine's there, I think.
But yeah.
Miles, any grief about the body issue?
I don't know what are you talking about? Maybe I haven't read my weekly body issue yet. I will tonight.
You
though.
subscribe.
All right.
He posed nude in the desert for the ESPN's body
Did
issue.
he really? All right. That's good to know. And I can promise you I probably won't read it. But I'm glad I've got the information. So,
Sorry, we've asked you about him in the past. Have you seen a noticeably different drive in him? I mean, he's obviously a motivated guy to begin with, but has there been a substantial jump that way?
here's what I like about Miles. He said he wants more production. He wants to be a better player. I want the same things for him. I like the fact that he's willing to get coached to help him get there. That's one thing that I have found very rewarding for being in the position that I'm in now, because I have the opportunity to, I have the platform to communicate with guys on both sides of the ball in that area. So I've enjoyed getting to know Miles. I've enjoyed getting to know his personality, getting to know his desire and relentless nature on where he wants to get to. And I'm looking very forward to our defensive staff, our defensive line coach, Tosh and John, Steve, and then all those guys helping him get to where he wants to go.
Are you aware of his becoming a captain for the Water Boys program from Chris Long's foundation?
No, I was not aware of that, but
Yeah, I mean, other guys have causes, but
Yeah.
that kind of stuff's really important to him. I was wondering if you admired that or.
no doubt, and I do admire everything he does. I know he's an animal lover, and especially a dog lover, and I am too. I mean, we actually just found the home for one of our last puppies that we had back in the first day of minicamp, if you remember way back then. So we've had 7 dogs, and it went down to 6, 5, 4, 3. Now we just have our own 4. So, yes, I admire Miles for several things that he does in that area.
4 dogs.
I do. 3 and 1 addition. We kept one of the puppies.
Dogs.
They're great. I work all the time. My daughters and wife, they need, they're very comforting in a lot of areas. We love animals. We love horses, dogs. Love it all.
Dogs.
Cockapoos and Australian Labradoodle.
Some of the guys
You
were
want to know the
talking.
names? Seriously, do you want to know the names? Well, it's we've got a dark brown one that's called Coffee Bean. We've got a light brown one that's called Brown Potato. We've got a total black one that's called Friday, because we got him on Friday. And then we've got one that looks like a Rottweiler, the markings of a Rottweiler, that her name is Monday, and named after Sunday, which we had a Rottweiler named Sunday because we got her on Super Bowl Sunday back when my wife and I first got married. And then we had two of our favorite dogs was a Rottweiler and a Doberman that the Monday has the markings too, as well as a Doberman. And his name was Lombardi, and his whole name was Mist Lombardi because we got him the year we went to the Super Bowl. So,
Do you have a personal favorite?
I guess now it's got to be the one that we kept because that's essentially mine. And that would be Monday. Yeah. And Mini Count was just found a home. And she was a great one too. They've all been great. They've been really, really good. Like shockingly, surprisingly great.
Yesterday, some of the guys were talking about the brotherhood that they feel is developed. Do you feel that too?
I do, and I think it needed to happen. I think it makes this is all about the journey. Don't ever, I don't want our guys, and I know they don't. We've talked about this, and they won't ever lose sight of this, that it's about the journey. We're going to have some ups and downs, but we need to be together when we do this. And I feel like these guys are. I feel like these guys are tight. We can overcome a lot if we stay that way. I think it began to develop the week of Indianapolis, all right? That was kind of the hidden gem of the week. We wanted to go down. We wanted to be physical. We wanted to play well. But the other thing we wanted to do was form a bond between each other that can't be broken. And I feel like we've done that. Now, it's going to be tested. I promise you it's going to be tested. Those guys know it's going to be tested. And we'll find out what kind of team we have when we're tested and see where we come out the other side of it. And I've told those guys that. They believe it. They've taken it to heart. Now we just go out and play the best we can play and recognize the problem when it happens and attack the problem. And that's what we've been doing all of training camp.
Think that happened because you were on the road together for so long and guys got to know each other better?
I think so. I definitely think so. Again, some of the best teams that I've been a part of were the closest teams, and they cared about each other on and off the field.
We good? You got one more, Mary Kay?
I was just going to ask a little bit about Marcus Mariota, and what have you seen on film of him so far this year? Does he seem a little bigger or more, a little more stout than he was last year?
He does look like he's been in the weight room a little more, and but I think that's a natural progression as you go through the league. Guys get older, get more mature, become better with their eyes and stuff like that. But they also become better with their the physical part of the game, being able to withstand more and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely think I could tell the difference. I didn't know if it was just me. That was a good catch. I wasn't going to say anything just in case I was wrong. And I can blame you. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys.